Hello and welcome everyone to the first ever virtual Rare Impact Award ceremony. My name is Dr. John Whyte and I'm the Chief Medical Officer for WebMD. Tonight I'll be your MC, and it's my honor to welcome you as we celebrate the people, organizations, and companies making progress a reality across our rare community. We're about to meet some very inspiring people. The 2020 Rare Impact honorees include a rock and roll icon, prominent national figures, patients and advocates, innovators, and brilliant doctors from around the country, each using their drive, commitment, and passion to make a difference for people living with rare diseases. Maybe by watching, you'll find out that there's someone living near you who is also passionate about rare diseases, or you will learn about resources and platforms that are available to help patients and advocates. As we get started, I'd like to introduce the President and CEO of the National Organization for Rare Disorders. Please join me in welcoming Peter Saltonstall.
Thank you, Dr. Whyte, and welcome to the 2020 edition of the NORD Rare Impact Awards. And while this is not the venue that we thought we would be celebrating in, we thought we would be at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, having a great time with all of you and rocking it out. Unfortunately, the pandemic had other ideas. And while the pandemic may have changed our location, it can't change the enthusiasm we have tonight to share the achievements of all of our honorees. So we have a great program, and I hope you'll enjoy it tonight and stay tuned. But before we start, I would really like to thank a number of different people. To be able to put an event on like this takes a lot of work. The NORD staff and the NORD board has been deeply committed to making sure that this was a very successful event in its new format. So I'd like to thank them personally for all the hard work, effort, energy, and commitment to making this successful. Secondly, I'd like to thank all of our honorees, the FDA, the NIH, and those companies that developed all the therapies that we're honoring this evening, and all of those other companies that aren't being honored this evening, but that have developed therapies in this last year for all of our patients in need. And then lastly, I'd like to thank you, the supporters, everyone there that's written a check, that's supported this function, that's helped us put this on. Without you, we wouldn't be here this evening. So a sincere thank you for your commitment, and I hope you enjoy the evening. Dr. Whyte, let's now introduce the honorees.
Thank you, Peter, and thanks again to everyone joining us for NORD's Rare Impact Awards. I've been looking forward to tonight for so long. As a physician, I follow the rare disease community closely. Over the past few months, as much as the virus has spread, it's become clear that while we cannot gather in person, it's critical for us to find new ways to connect. As a result, we've evolved, we've adapted, and we've come together. Many of us have become pros at Zoom, Skype, and even Snapchat. It's a different world. Coming together has made us stronger, and that theme of togetherness is central to our celebration tonight, as we remember NORD's tagline, "Alone, we are rare. Together, we are strong." So let's get started and meet our first two honorees, both of whom are dedicated public leaders and rare disease advocates. Senator Sherrod Brown has served as a United States Senator since 2007, and before that, served as a United States Representative for 14 years. Throughout his time in public office, Senator Brown has been a champion of causes critical to the rare disease community. He played a key role in passing the Affordable Care Act, making health insurance more accessible and protecting people with pre-existing conditions. He has co-sponsored legislation fighting back against surprise medical bills in what's known as junk insurance, and has supported Medicaid and Medicare patients. He's also been the lead Senate sponsor of the Rare Disease Day resolution for many years, helping to raise critical national awareness. NORD is proud to present the 2020 Rare Impact Award to Senator Sherrod Brown.
I'm Sherrod Brown. It's an honor to represent Ohio in the U.S. Senate. And to represent so many of you, thank you to the National Organization for Rare Disorders. Thank you for this honor of NORD 2020 Rare Impact Award. More importantly, thanks to all of you for your work on behalf of millions of Americans living with a rare disease. And thank you for all the assistance you give to those families. It's tough for anyone getting medical treatment for a disease. It's even more difficult with these rare diseases to find treatment when options are so limited. And so often, as you know, that you experience, the nearest specialist is hundreds of miles away. As the pandemic continues to take its toll on our country, NORD's work to ensure that those with rare diseases have access to the care they need is more important, as you know, than ever. I'm proud to consistently support NORD's efforts in Congress by fighting the Trump administration's attempt to sabotage the quality, affordable health care provided by the Affordable Care Act, the ACA, so-called Obamacare. It's meant so much to so many, yet the administration continues to try to repeal it in Congress. When that failed, to go to court and try to defeat it. I'll continue to fight to protect and strengthen Medicare, to expand Medicaid, to increase funding for the National Institutes of Health, and to improve access to clinical trials, and also always to facilitate R&D for drugs for individuals with rare disease. Keeping families safe and healthy has to be a number one priority in this country for Congress, for all of us. I will pledge to continue to do that. Thank you. Thank you so much for this. But more importantly, thank you for the work you do on behalf of so many families.
Ohio State Representative Randy Kleitz has channeled her personal connection to rare diseases into making a difference for others. She began her activism when her son was diagnosed at a young age with a rare genetic bleeding disorder and then leukemia. Ever since, she's given back to the rare disease community, advocating on local and national levels. As an elected official, Representative Kleitz has fought hard to increase access to affordable health care and improve community services. And she has a long history of fighting for Ohio's most vulnerable children. She served on the 2006 Legislative Task Force on the future funding of the state's Title V program, has served as chair of the Parent Advisory Council, and has long been an active volunteer in her community, working with Akron Children's Hospital. NORD is proud to present the 2020 Rare Impact Award to Representative Randy Kleitz.
First, I would like to thank you, NORD. Thank you to your staff, your volunteers, and your ambassadors for all the hard work that you do around the country on behalf of families that are impacted by a rare disorder. It is an honor to receive the NORD Rare Impact Award. I only wish that we were able to gather in person to celebrate in Northeast Ohio. I would like to dedicate my award to my 18-year-old son, Colton. He's my inspiration to do all things that I had originally thought were too difficult. He has never allowed either of his rare disorders to impede his love of living a full life, and he reminds us daily to never take the small things for granted. It has been an awesome experience to grow as a parent advocate, from volunteering as the chair of the Parent Advisory Council at our local children's hospital to organizing patients and parents to visit their local, state, and national lawmakers to advocate on issues impacting their care, to now becoming a state representative myself. What a journey it has been in the rare disorder community. It is said that most people need to be asked to get more involved, so I'm personally asking you right now, please attend an advisory council or stakeholder meeting, testify on a bill, or even run for office. In the rare disorder community, we need to continue to raise our small but mighty voices to become a catalyst for change. Thank you again for this recognition. It's truly an honor.
Already, we see a few threads emerging tonight. Never underestimate the power of a rare disease parent. And folks from Ohio are really stepping up to make an impact for rare diseases. Our next honoree, Charlene York, is no exception. For Charlene, advocacy is truly a family affair. Her husband and daughter live with congenital muscular dystrophy, a group of rare genetic muscle diseases that cause progressive weakness. Determined to make a difference for her loved ones, Charlene began volunteering with Cure CMD 12 years ago. Soon after, she attended her first NORD Summit, which she says lit a fire within her to do more. and she set out to help raise awareness for all rare diseases. After getting the last day of February permanently declared Rare Disease Day in her state, she decided that she wanted to do more and now serves as the Rare Action Network State Ambassador for Ohio, forging connections between patients and families across the state. NORD is proud to present the 2020 Rare Impact Award to Charlene York.
Hi, I'm Charlene York, and I'm the Ohio RAND Volunteer State Ambassador. I am so thrilled and so honored to have received this award. I had not expected it. There are some people I would like to thank for receiving this award. First, I'd like to thank those at NORD, especially Kristen, Rose, and Melanie, who had helped me start this journey. They truly brought the meaning of the words, alone we are rare, but together we are strong. The next group of people I'd like to thank, of course, are those Ohioans with rare diseases. Thank you for your support, and thank you for your hard work in trying to raise awareness here in the state of Ohio. The next group is my family, of course, especially my sister Jeanette, who has taught me that having a rare disease or any disease can be part of you, but not necessarily all of you. And finally, I'd like to thank my husband and daughter who have the rare disease. Without their love and support, I would not have gotten this far. I love you both. Thank you.
People in the rare community really step up to support one another, and we're about to witness it once again with our next honoree's bravery and dedication. Erica Barnes sadly lost her young daughter Chloe to an aggressive rare disease known as metachromatic leukodystrophy. Courageously, she transformed her grief in a way to connect with others. Erica has provided testimony on Capitol Hill in support of newborn screening, speaks frequently at national conferences, and contributes to publications focused on rare diseases. She volunteers to lead the Rare Action Network in Minnesota, helps plan Rare Disease Day activities across her state, and thanks to a bill that she fought for, Minnesota is now one of 14 states in the nation with a Rare Disease Advisory Council in the state government, giving more representation to people with rare diseases. The Advisory Council is named after her daughter, which is just one part of Erica and Chloe's lasting legacy to help others with rare diseases. NORD is proud to present Erica Barnes with the 2020 Rare Impact Award.
I am deeply honored to be among the truly extraordinary recipients of the 2020 Rare Impact Awards. I have enjoyed learning from so many of the recipients. When my daughter Chloe was born, she began to write her life story, and I was of course honored to write it along with her. I dreamt of the chapters and chapters she would fill with adventures, love, and as many life experiences as possible. When she died at 2 years old from metachromatic leukodystrophy, I felt the devastation of her book being closed far too soon. But through advocating for other children and adults in the state of Minnesota and amplifying their stories, I've been given the incredible gift of reopening Chloe's book and continuing to write it in her honor. I have learned profound lessons that continue to shape me, and I have 3 axioms that I want to share with all of you, and I hope that they are helpful. Number 1, the world is broken, but it is beautiful. Number 2, people are complicated but fundamentally good. And number 3, the most frustrating systems are capable of radical and meaningful transformation. So as each of you engage in your own life's calling, I hope you can join with complicated people to transform frustrating systems in this broken but beautiful world to improve care for the rare community. Thank you to NORD for all of the million ways that you have supported my growth, and everyone, please be safe.
Now we have a special message from someone who had hoped to be with us tonight. Here's Art Alexakis of the band Everclear.
Hey everybody, it's Art Alexakis from the band Everclear. First of all, I want to say I'm so sorry that we're not celebrating together at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame tonight. I'll see you guys next year in June of 2021. I also want to congratulate the 2020 Rare Impact Award honorees. You guys show that when we all come together, we can make big things happen. I'll see you next year at the Rare Impact Award in Cleveland, Ohio at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. See you next year.
Thank you, Art. Music and sharing your voice are such powerful ways to connect with others. I'm a fan. Tonight, we'll meet those responsible for the greatest medical advancements in rare disease of the past year, our 2020 Industry Innovation Award honorees. Sickle cell disease is a rare genetic blood disorder caused by abnormal hemoglobin, the protein in red blood cells that delivers oxygen throughout the body. It affects approximately 100,000 people in the United States and millions worldwide. The recent approval of Oxbryta from Global Blood Therapeutics represents an important shift in treatment by going after the root cause of the disease, potentially preventing its long-term severity. Please welcome Michelle Parr, who will share with us about sickle cell disease, a serious, life-shortening, rare genetic blood disorder.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Michelle Parr, and I want to thank NORD for inviting me to join you tonight to share a bit about my journey with sickle cell disease and to celebrate recent progress in the fight against this devastating disease. For many years, while battling the pain and fatigue that comes with my disease, I saw many doctors, but I was continually misdiagnosed. I was finally diagnosed with sickle cell disease when I was 25 years old and pregnant with my first child. I had struggled to live an active, productive life, and I was terrified to learn that people with this disease usually die in their 40s. Between this fear and a lack of effective treatment options, I was desperate to find something that would help. And then I discovered Global Therapeutics HOPE trial, which I started in October 2017. I'm so thankful for the opportunity to have been a participant in the clinical trial and contribute to the development of a new medicine for SCD. Thank you, GBT, for researching and focusing on sickle cell disease. I am so satisfied to know that my participation in the research may help others with sickle cell. And so on behalf of all people living with sickle cell disease and all who have suffered or died from the disease, it is my pleasure and distinct honor to present Global Blood Therapeutics and their president and CEO, Dr. Ted Love, with the NORD Rare Impact Award for Industry Innovation.
Thank you, Michelle, from the bottom of my heart, not only for that beautiful introduction, but more importantly, for your inspiring journey, your determination, and your participation in our clinical trial of Oxbryta. On behalf of the entire GBT team, I also want to thank NORD for this award and for uniting the rare disease community to make important progress. Thank you to the team at NORD and to the members of its community for continuing to inspire us to make a difference. The missions of GBT and NORD are well aligned. This Rare Impact Award represents the long overdue progress we're finally now seeing in the sickle cell disease community for a lifelong inherited disorder affecting an estimated 100,000 people in the United States and millions worldwide. Despite the impact of the life-threatening complications like early death that sickle cell disease can cause, patients have been neglected for decades. Still today, only a handful of treatments for this disease have been approved by the FDA since the Orphan Drug Act was created. We are incredibly proud to have brought Oxbryta, which was approved by the FDA last November, from discovery into the hands of patients. This achievement reflects GBT's innovative clinical development approach, invaluable insights from many stakeholders, and the strength of our partnership with the team at the FDA. It also reflects our longstanding, deep partnership with the sickle cell disease community, which has been through a lot. For too long, sickle cell patients and families have been profoundly impacted by disparities in quality care, stigma in our healthcare system, and a lack of available treatment options. So I dedicate this award to the patients, caregivers, advocates, and other members of this community, without whom we would not be where we are today. With Oxbryta now available and more research underway than ever before, our strength comes from you. And none of this would be possible without your trust and continued support. I also want to thank the relentless team at GBT, who work day in and day out to discover, develop, and deliver innovative medicines to those in need. Together, we look forward to continuing to turn scientific breakthroughs into meaningful advances for sickle cell disease and other rare diseases. Thank you once again for this honor.
Another life-threatening rare disease that's seeing progress right now is cystic fibrosis, which causes severe respiratory problems and other complications. A new treatment called Trikafta became available last year to help people with the most common type of cystic fibrosis mutation. This means that most adults and adolescents with CF now have a treatment option where one didn't exist prior. This is real progress in action. NORD is pleased to present the 2020 Industry Innovation Award to Vertex Pharmaceuticals.
Thank you everyone at NORD for all the work that you do and for recognizing the individuals, groups, and companies making extraordinary contributions to the lives of rare disease patients. I'm emcee and I'm the Chief Patient Officer at Vertex Pharmaceuticals. One of the reasons I joined Vertex back in 2007 was the fierce passion I felt from every employee to pursue science in order to make medicines that have the potential to transform lives. Fast forward to today, and our commitment to patients has not only grown stronger, but has also been the guiding light that has gotten us to where we are. This is a commitment we take very seriously, and it's the reason we've been successful in discovering, developing, and bringing to patients the first and only medicines to treat the underlying cause of cystic fibrosis. We believe our latest CF medicine, called Trikafta, has the potential to treat up to 90% of patients with CF. Our ultimate goal is to cure this devastating disease, and we won't stop until we reach that goal. Today, it's an honor to accept the 2020 Industry Innovation Award on behalf of the employees at Vertex Pharmaceuticals, who've worked tirelessly to bring Trikafta to patients. As many of you know, drug discovery and development is the ultimate team sport. We wouldn't be here, though, without the support of the CF community, the patients, caregivers, and healthcare providers who are all in this with us together. One of our corporate core values at Vertex is our uncompromising commitment to patients. As we broaden our focus now to conquer other rare diseases, patients and families in need will continue to serve as our inspiration, motivation to work harder, stay longer, and innovate in everything we do. On behalf of all of my colleagues at Vertex Pharmaceuticals, thank you again for this amazing award.
Now let's hear from Lena, who will share what it's like to live with acute hepatic porphyria, a rare genetic blood condition that can cause potentially life-threatening attacks that involves severe pain, paralysis, respiratory issues, and changes to the brain. Last year, Alnylam Pharmaceuticals received FDA approval for a new product, Givlaari, to help patients living with this condition.
Hi, my name is Lena and I'm living with acute hepatic porphyria, otherwise known as AHP, which is a rare genetic disease that can cause potentially life-threatening attacks and in some people chronic symptoms. Prior to my diagnosis, I started experiencing AHP attacks when I was a college freshman. I was unable to attend classes or lead a normal social life due to the debilitating symptoms I was experiencing. I had nausea, headache, fatigues, and relentless abdominal pain. I couldn't eat or drink, I was anxious, confused, and I had strong delusions. Every medical test came back normal, and the doctors attributed my symptoms to the fact that I was away from home and overwhelmed by my academic workload. When I was finally diagnosed with AHP following 2 seizures, I felt relief to have a diagnosis, but there was nothing available to help decrease my attacks. In August of 2016, I enrolled in a clinical trial sponsored by Alnylam Pharmaceuticals for givosiran, which went on to become Givlaari, an FDA-approved treatment for adults with AHP. This was a true turning point in my journey with this disease, and I stand here today incredibly pleased to present Alnylam with the Industry Innovation Award.
Thank you, Lena, and good evening, everyone. My name is Amy Simon. I'm the Vice President of Clinical Development at Alnylam. I'm honored to accept this award on behalf of our company and to express our sincere gratitude to NORD. We are so proud to be among other esteemed honorees being recognized for their outstanding work in the rare disease space. Approximately 18 years ago, we embarked on a journey to develop a novel class of medicines based on RNA interference, or RNAi, to help change the lives of people with rare diseases like Lena, who have limited therapeutic options. Last year, the FDA approved Givlaari for the treatment of adults with acute hepatic porphyria, the world's second ever treatment based on RNAi and first ever GalNAc conjugate. Since then, we have celebrated many exciting moments: global regulatory approvals, testimonies from patients prescribed Givlaari, and tonight, accepting this award. While we are very thankful to celebrate Givlaari's impact, we share this award with the AHP community, who contributed to this important scientific discovery. Without you, we would not be here today. Thank you for accepting the challenge alongside us to make Givlaari a reality and bring this important new medication to patients around the world.
One of the hardest parts of being a clinician is delivering bad news, especially to parents of sick children. Spinal muscular atrophy is a rare condition that is recognized horribly as the leading genetic cause of infant loss of life. But last year, the FDA approved Zolgensma, the first gene therapy to treat children younger than 2 years old with this condition. This one-time treatment halts the illness in its tracks. I'm honored to give you the Anderson family, presenting the 2020 Industry Innovation Award to Avexis, a Novartis company.
Hi, I'm Terrence.
And I'm Tina.
And I'm Malachi, and this is the Anderson family.
Malachi was diagnosed with SMA type 1 at the age of 2.5 months old. We were told to bring him home and love him, and that we would have maybe 6 to 8 months with him and to make as many memories as possible. At 4 months and 2 days old, Malachi received treatment of Zolgensma. This drug has impacted our life in such a positive way. It's given us a chance to watch Malachi grow, get stronger, and meet milestones that we never thought we would ever see him get. We also have seen him go to preschool, and he will be starting kindergarten in just 2 weeks. And without Zolgensma, we would have not been granted these opportunities, and we are so grateful for that.
And for that, we want to say thank you, and we are pleased to introduce Dave Lennon, president of Avexis, a Novartis company.
We thank you again.
Thank you, Tina, Torrance, and Malachi. And thank you to NORD for this recognition, but more importantly, for the tremendous work you do on behalf of patients with rare diseases. At Novartis, we understand that a diagnosis with SMA can be devastating for families like the Andersons. And it's that reason that we took on the effort to develop a gene therapy that could address the underlying root causes of SMA. Through Zolgensma, we are now seeing with treatment, patients achieve milestones we never thought possible based on the natural history of the disease. We get videos of kids rolling over, sitting independently, and even some walking and running. It's through the dedication of our employees, and a special thanks I'd like to give to them and recognize them as we accept this award from NORD. Then finally, in closing, I'd like to thank and acknowledge the work of the SMA community. Through your strength, commitment, hope, and love, You've been able to inspire us to achieve things that we never thought possible. It's through that work that we accept this award in partnership with you. Finally, thank you again to NORD for this recognition. And really, it's an honor, and we recognize all of the honorees tonight.
As we just heard, gene therapy can offer hope and the promise of health for people impacted by rare diseases. For over 30 years, our next honoree has been a leader in genetics research while helping children with rare and life-threatening illnesses. The Clinic for Special Children researches rare genetic mutations within the local Amish and Mennonite communities in Pennsylvania. It bridges the gap between genomic research and the application of practical, patient-focused medicine. Each year, the clinic discovers new variants that cause disease, demonstrating the ever-changing landscape of rare disease. It is a very special place where the current and future needs of the rare community are being addressed. NORD is pleased to present the 2020 Rare Impact Award to the leadership team at the Clinic for Special Children.
Greetings from Lancaster County, Pennsylvania. Behind me sits the Clinic for Special Children. For more than 30 years, the clinic's only mission has been to provide innovative clinical, laboratory, educational, and research services to families with rare genetic disorders. Although our main focus is on providing care to our local Amish and Mennonite communities, our work has ripple effects well beyond the populations we serve. We're able to bridge the gap between genomic research and the application of practical, patient-focused medicine by integrating advanced biochemical and genetic equipment and techniques into a primary care setting. This recently culminated in the development of our Plain Insight panel. This population-specific screening assay allows us to carrier test adults for more than 1,300 genetic variants known or suspected to cause disease. We can provide this test at a low cost thanks to foundation and donor support. In the building behind me, sited next to our Amish neighbor's cornfield, we can perform our next-generation DNA sequencing panel in adults, test umbilical cord blood for specific variants in newborns, and provide compassionate clinical care for an individual's entire life. So, as the executive director at the clinic, I'm honored to accept the Rare Impact Award on behalf of our leadership team, staff, board, and of course our patient families. We'd like to express our thanks to NORD for working tirelessly to organize this event during an uncertain year, and we send our remote congratulations to all of our fellow honorees.
Talk about making an impact. Wow. Now, cancer is a word that we all know, but did you also know there's hundreds of rare cancers? Patients fighting rare cancers often experience the same challenges that come with having other rare diseases. Our next honoree, the Rare Cancer Coalition, came together to form the first group of rare cancer advocacy organizations in the United States, uniting to provide the strongest voice possible to raise awareness and advocate on behalf of rare cancer patients and researchers. It's a promising time in the cancer research world, with advances like precision medicine and immunotherapy making a difference in patients' lives. Advances like these are thanks to people like the hardworking members of this group, who will continue to dedicate themselves to ensuring that all people with rare cancers have help and hope. NORD is proud to present the Rare Cancer Coalition with the 2020 Abby S. Myers Leadership Award. Accepting on behalf of the Rare Cancer Coalition are its co-chairs, John Hopper, President of the Fibrolamellar Cancer Foundation, and Jim Palma, Executive Director of the Target Cancer Foundation.
Hi, my name is Jim Palma, and I'm the Executive Director of Target Cancer Foundation. In addition, I'm a member of the Board of Directors of NORD and also a co-chair of the Rare Cancer Coalition. And on behalf of the Rare Cancer Coalition, I would like to thank NORD for presenting the Abby S. Myers Leadership Award to the Rare Cancer Coalition. And I'd like to also thank NORD for recognizing this need for a unified voice in rare cancers and for providing this opportunity for so many advocacy organizations focused on rare cancers to come together and address the common challenges that we all face. And one of the best parts of working on the Rare Cancer Coalition is having the opportunity to work with my good friend and colleague, John Hopper, and I'm going to pass it over to him now.
Hey, thanks, Jim. And equally, it's a pleasure working side by side with you on this very important initiative. As president of the Fibromotor Cancer Foundation and the co-chair of the GI Cancer Alliance and being on the board of the National Pancreas Foundation, it's clear to people like myself and Jim that rare or not, cancer discoveries advance when advocacy groups not only preach but practice collaboration. In our brief time as RCC, we've actually accomplished quite a bit. There is now an International Rare Cancer Day. We've been featured at the annual ASCO conference, at the annual World Drug Conference, and many other milestones this group has achieved in a very short period of time. What we found is that we're a small group, but a loud group, and we're achieving quite a bit. So ultimately, our hope is that together, through collaboration, we'll all find a faster road to a cure for the cancers that we have. Jim, back to you.
Thank you, John. And again, our sincere thanks to NORD for this honor.
Among the recent advancements in cancer treatments is the first ever treatment for an extremely rare and painful type of tumor known as tenosynovial giant cell tumor. This cancer affects the surfaces of joints and tendons. Last year, Turalio was approved as the first therapy to treat this rare disease. NORD is proud to present the 2020 Industry Innovation Award to Daiichi Sankyo.
Hello, I'm Sunao Manabe, President and CEO of Daiichi Sankyo. I'd like to sincerely thank NORD for recognizing Daiichi Sankyo's innovative work for patients with rare diseases and for our treatment for tenosynovial giant cell tumor, or TGCT, to be honored by the prestigious Rare Impact Awards. We believe this treatment is truly a rare disease change maker. It is the first and only systemic oral treatment approved by the FDA for TGCT, which is a typically non-malignant tumor that affects the joints and can be locally aggressive. It can result in debilitating symptoms and can affect quality of life in a relatively young population. I'd also like to thank the 140 courageous patients with TGCT enrolled in our trials. They have unlocked the value of the treatment for the patient who follow. But Daiichi Sankyo's rare disease work does not stop here. We are researching several compounds in our pipeline for their potential to treat devastating rare genetic diseases. It is our mission to contribute to the enrichment of quality of life through innovative medicines. As NORD says, alone we are rare, together we are strong. We at Daiichi Sankyo are elated to be part of your community and helping build strength in our unity. We thank you for recognizing us and wish you all the best of health and life.
Medical advances can sometimes change the course of patients' lives, even when the outlook has not been promising. Last year, a groundbreaking treatment was approved to help adults with a type of lung cancer that has spread to other parts of the body. This approval is a significant step in the development of cancer treatments. It marks the third time that FDA has approved a drug to treat tumors based on its genetic properties rather than its location in the body. This treatment, called Rozlytrek, provides an option to patients and for whom other medicines and procedures were not possible. Let's welcome Cheryl Rathke to present the 2020 Industry Innovation Award to Genentech.
Hi, I'm Cheryl and I'm from Littleton, Colorado. I'm a mom of 6 kids and a choir director. We had driven up to Minnesota on a family vacation, and on the way home I had a grand mal seizure. They ended up doing a CT of my lungs and an MRI of my brain, and they were the ones that said, yeah, you have stage 4 metastatic lung cancer. There's really not much we can do at this point, so go home and get your affairs in order. After biomarker testing of the tumor, an oncologist explained to me that I had a ROS1 biomarker. After discussing all possible treatment options, including the safety profiles, Rozlytrek sounded like a great option for me. Being treated with Rozlytrek has really allowed me to reimagine my life. I had a 9-year-old who was in 4th grade. After starting treatment with Rozlytrek, I really had hope and believed that I could keep living this life that I love and keep making the positive impact that I strive to make in my everyday life. I will never be cancer-free, but I am what they call stable, which is the best word that you could ever hear. I am pleased to introduce Genentech's Alan Sandler, Senior Vice President, Global Head of Product Development, Oncology Solid Tumors.
Thank you, Cheryl, and thank you to the National Organization for Rare Disorders. We at Genentech are honored to receive the 2020 Industry Innovation Award for our work bringing Rozlytrek to people with rare forms of cancer. Those that include ROS1 positive non-small cell lung cancer and NTRK gene fusion positive solid tumors without a known acquired resistance mutation, are metastatic, or where surgical resection is likely to result in severe morbidity, and who have progressed following treatment or have no satisfactory alternative therapy. I'm accepting this award today on behalf of a highly dedicated, passionate team of innovators who developed this important treatment option that has offered hope to patients who need it most. As a tumor-agnostic medicine, Rozlytrek targets specific cancer-causing genetic rearrangements, and which these have enabled us to bring this advancement to 2 unique groups of patients with rare cancers simultaneously. Rozlytrek is the first FDA-approved treatment designed to target both ROS1 and NTRK fusions, and has also shown responses in these cancers that have spread to the brain. For ROS1 positive patients, the CNS data may have significant impact, given the fact that up to 40% of patients may experience the cancer spreading to the brain. As therapies like Rozlytrek grow in number, we can increasingly begin to think of cancers not by their site of origin, but by the characteristic mutations that make them responsive to personalized treatments. This approach is especially important in rare cancers and is one we all follow to strive as we bring more targeted therapies to small patient populations in the future.
Thanks again to all of our Rare Impact Award honorees who are so well deserving of recognition tonight. I'm excited now to introduce a very special musical performance. In the words of the talented young stars you're about to meet, music has the power to create change. It's why Believe Limited launched Breaking Through and created Hemophilia, the musical, a theater workshop and art therapy program built in partnership with teenagers from the bleeding disorders community. In 2020, due to COVID-19, that production became Hemophilia, the Zoomsicle. I'm so pleased to present a selection of songs performed by the cast of Hemophilia, the Zoomsicle. Enjoy.
Breaking Through and Hemophilia the Musical were created to give young people affected by bleeding disorders a place to find their voice, tell their story, and meet their tribe. In 2018, we launched the program in New York City, where the original cast of Hemophilia the Musical performed the show for the first time ever on New World stages. The program's impact was profound, and we knew we had to keep it going. So while 2020 has been a year unlike any of us imagined, that did not stop the 2020 cast and participants from having an experience unlike any other.
I'm about to sing No No No's. 3, 2, 1, let's go.
We recorded the first song. It was a very strange experience. I had never really done anything like this before. It's definitely out of my comfort zone because of how everything had to go virtual.
I know that it's been a really fun process for me because I've a lot of the scenes I've done many takes on, and like I wasn't happy with it, and when I was, I just remember like going kind of late into the night doing it, and it's really fun.
I definitely learned a lot about audio editing through that.
When you're in person, you can like listen to people beside you.
You can take so many takes. You can fix mistakes.
Nobody can stop us. We're too powerful.
One thing I learned from being a part of this musical was how to collaborate with my fellow cast members, and it helped me to also be more open about my condition.
I felt like it was just really great to have something that was consistent that I could like look forward to throughout the week.
I also was becoming more confident because this is a very clearly a very judgment-free zone.
Let's all just do a big lion face.
The most exciting thing about being cast was probably just the opportunity to get to know so many members of the bleeding disorder community.
I've grown as a person with breaking through and just believe limited. We thank you for just taking time out of our day to just get up and not get up from doing nothing and actually do something.
Everyone's so supportive, and like I promise you, like when you join this program, like the person you are when you join and then when you leave are like completely different. Like you just become like a better person, and like
we're a team.
Look around, everything is changing. My world is flipping upside down. Will I ever get to understand where I'm going? Who knows? No roots, no guide, a never-ending journey, no signs. I don't know. It's an unknown. Life's highs and lows. Don't think you're all alone. Hard times to make this grow. To be the person you're meant to be. It's an unknowns. I knew where my life was heading. Had it all worked out inside my mind. Then just like that, I realized that I had to let go and just be open to what exactly each day throws at me. You never know. It's an unknown. Life's highs and lows. Don't think you're all alone. Hard times that makes us grow. To be the person you're meant to be. It's an unknown. It's the truth, it doesn't get much better. Life goes in things you can't explain. You never know what's around the corner. You gotta lose just to make the greater day. Don't think you're all alone. Hard times to make us grow. To be the person you're meant to be. It's an unknown. Life's highs and lows. Don't think you're all alone. Hard times to make us grow. To be the person you're meant to be. It's an unknown. these known unknowns.
That was totally inspiring. Now I'd like to introduce the creative genius behind Hemophilia, the Zoomsicle, and our next honoree, Patrick James Lynch. For Patrick, hemophilia has had a profound impact on his life. He lost his younger brother to this disease, and he lives with it himself. As a filmmaker and media professional, Patrick used his talent, creativity, and business acumen to help educate others living with the disease. His documentary about the first person with hemophilia to attempt to climb Everest and the global disparities in hemophilia care has been seen around the world. His media company, Believe Limited, has created awareness building and fundraising campaigns to help patient advocacy groups. Since 2015, it has honored over 350 teens affected by hemophilia and other rare blood disorders at the largest annual patient conference, in addition to building the theater and arts therapy program that we just experienced. Patrick has helped raise money for communities in developing countries, and his dedication to the hemophilia community, both at home and abroad, illustrates that rare diseases and support really have no borders. NORD is proud to present Patrick James Lynch with the 2020 Rare Impact Award.
I am honored, humbled, and grateful to be one of NORD's 2020 Rare Impact honorees, and to be in a lineup such as this one. It's quite an honor, so thank you. Growing up with severe hemophilia, I was generally well managed. I had expert care from a fully integrated clinic. I was born to a registered nurse, and we were early adopters of prophylaxis, preventing bleeding before it even starts. But while I may have been well managed, I had a really hard time finding my place. And like many young people that I have met with rare diseases over the years, I experienced a lot of frustration, isolation, and fear. For me, it wasn't until 16 when I stumbled into the theater that I finally felt like I had a home, a place to be, a tribe to be with, a goal we could pursue together, and passion that could drive us toward it, as well as an escape from reality. Health is about so much more than medicine. So as science innovates and medicines develop, maybe think of the innovation you might employ to make an impact on a young person's life in a way that's perhaps a little unexpected. You never know who might need a place to be that day. Thank you, and thank you once again to NORD for this incredible honor.
Hello, this is Alex Borstein. You may know me from The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, or Getting On, or Family Guy, or perhaps you saw my name listed as an executive producer on a documentary called Bombardier Blood, which I executive produced alongside Mr. Patrick James Lynch, who you just heard from. I wanted to drop in and say congratulations to you, Patrick, and to all of the 2020 Rare Impact Award honorees. Thank you all for what you do to help bring light to rare diseases, people living their lives affected by them. So thank you and congratulations.
Amazing things can happen when the right people work together. Julia Vitarello is mom to Mila, a little girl with a rare variant of Batten disease. Mila's diagnosis was missing a mutation and was so rare that no lab could find it. Enter Dr. Timothy Yu, a clinical neurologist and neurogeneticist at Boston Children's Hospital. After many long nights and weekends of work, Dr. Yu and his team identified the unusual genetic cause of Mila's condition. Soon after the discovery, Dr. Yu and his team designed, received FDA approval, and then delivered a genetically tailored ASO drug to Mila nicknamed Milacin. This would not have been possible without Dr. Yu's tireless efforts and the determination of Julia, who worked with him to make crucial decisions while raising most of the funds necessary to make her daughter's treatment a reality. Mila became the first person to receive an FDA-approved drug created to treat just one individual. Now scientists are working to replicate her treatment approach, giving hope to many more children across several rare and fatal diseases like Batten. NORD is pleased to present the 2020 Rare Impact Award to Julia Vitorello and Dr. Timothy Yu.
Thank you, NORD, for this incredible honor to be receiving the Rare Impact Award this year. It means so much to me personally. 3 years ago, I set out on a mission to try to save my daughter Mila from Batten disease, a rare and fatal and very devastating genetic condition. I watched my little girl, who was rambunctious and outgoing, lose her vision, lose her last words, her ability to walk and run around, and a lot of the joy in her life. But in a collaboration with Dr. Timothy Yu, who I'm so honored to be receiving this award with today, we gave Mila an unprecedented second chance at life through a drug customized just to her called Milasen. I don't know what my daughter's future holds, but I do know that her story is showing what's possible, and that drugs customized to just one person or small groups of people really are changing the paradigm in how we think about treating rare disease. So thank you so much for recognizing our efforts in making Milasen happen, but honestly in recognizing our sense of responsibility and turning everything that we've done for my daughter into a way of helping rare disease as a whole, into thinking about the landscape of drug development in a completely different way. So thank you. This award means so much to me and to our entire team that worked so hard on Milasen and opening up this new treatment path.
Thank you, NORD, for this wonderful honor. In many ways, Milasen caught us by surprise. We didn't expect going in to be designing a new drug just for one patient, but we did. And this experience has been a testament to how far we've come together as a rare disease community, as well as how good the diagnostic and therapeutic tools have become. Now, the promise of individualized genomic medicine has never seemed so close. Of course, there's much more work to be done to deliver on this promise, and it won't be easy, but we're invigorated by the challenge and we're committed to it because this approach, we believe, is so important. Once again, thank you, NORD, for this wonderful recognition.
We've heard some incredibly moving stories so far, many highlighting the strength in working together to effect change. Our next honoree, Norman Winterman, has never stopped working. He was moved to action when his infant granddaughter, Allison, was diagnosed with Cornelia de Lange syndrome, a rare genetic birth defect that can affect many parts of the body. A Connecticut resident, Norm reached out to nearby NORD and the Cornelia de Lange Syndrome Foundation for information. He then went on to volunteer and work for CDLS for several years and served on their board of directors. After retiring from his career in youth sports, Norm walked into the Danbury offices of NORD in 2014 and offered his help. Norm has been helping here ever since, much to the delight of everyone in the organization and to the benefit of the entire rare disease community. Sadly, Norm's granddaughter Allison passed away suddenly at the age of 4.5, the result of a medical complication associated with her condition. Through his dedication, heart, selflessness, and volunteerism, Norm has helped countless other patients and families dealing with issues that he understands from his family's experience and his granddaughter's all too short life. NORD is pleased to present the 2020 Rare Impact Award to Norman Winterman.
The event in my life that motivated me to become involved in the world of rare diseases was the birth of the second of our 3 granddaughters, Allison was born in June of 1989 with a rare genetic birth defect, diagnosed as Cornelia de Lange syndrome. NORD gave me the contact information for the CDLS Foundation, which has an office in Connecticut. The next day I drove to that office and met with their executive director, who explained all she could about this rare disease and its prognosis. I immediately became involved with the CDLS Foundation and volunteered along with other New England families to put together the Boston Conference in 1992. I happened to mention that I was retiring from teaching, and I was asked if I would take over as conference chairperson for the foundation. I've been doing that for 30 years. I also served on the board of directors for the CDLS Foundation. I took a second job as commissioner for a sports league in Connecticut, and I worked for another 20 years. And when I retired from that job, I needed something to keep me busy. I live a half a mile from the NORD office, and I walked in and asked if they could use some help, and I've been here ever since. Recognizing me for the volunteer work that I've done for the past 30 years is a great honor, not only for me personally, but also for my wife Barbara and my supportive family. I know that I would not be here with all of you had it not been for this tiny little girl named Allison, who touched my heart and introduced me to a world I would never have known. My life has been enriched by this experience.
Our next Rare Impact Award honoree is a music icon who came alive in the 1970s with one of the best-selling albums of all time. Peter Frampton showed us the way to some truly amazing rock music. But did you know that he's also part of our rare disease herd? Peter lives with inclusion body myositis, or IBM, a rare inflammatory disease that weakens muscles in the arms, hands, and legs. He's determined to raise awareness about IBM through his work with the Myositis Association, and in his words, to advocate for all autoimmune diseases. He's now added Rare Disease Advocate to his rock star resume. Please welcome Mary McGowan of the Myositis Association, a NORD member organization, to present the 2020 Rare Impact Award to the legendary Peter Frampton.
Thank you, Dr. Whyte, and good evening, everyone. I'm Mary McGowan, and it is my honor to be introducing Mr. Peter Frampton. Mr. Frampton has been living stronger, living rare every day on stage, as he has just completed his final tour living with inclusion body myositis. In fact, Mr. Frampton met with hundreds of those living with inclusion body myositis after each and every performance on his tour nationwide, offering hope and inspiration to others. Mr. Frampton has also helped to raise awareness through his media interviews and many initiatives that he is involved with nationwide. We know that Mr. Frampton has helped to diagnose some people living with inclusion body myositis. When they hear his personal story and his description of the signs and symptoms, they say, yes, that's what I have, and they bring that information to their doctors and get accurately diagnosed. It is for these and many, many more reasons that the Myositis Association is privileged to be working with Peter Frampton to continue to raise awareness and to help raise money for research for myositis diseases. Once again, my honor to introduce Mr. Peter Frampton. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. So good to be with you here virtually. Normally, we would be together in a big banquet room, having just had the very dry piece of chicken or fish. I think it was chicken. But anyway, seriously, I'm honored to be here to receive this wonderful, incredible award here. And NORD have been this incredible voice for us people with rare diseases since 1983. Thank you so much. In every avenue, they are a wonderful help. So I need to tell you, the position I'm in, I get to meet a lot of people and I reach a lot of people. And on my last tour, I was able to meet with people that have my disease, IBM. They came to some of the shows, and I was able to be told by this one couple that I had actually diagnosed him from my interview on TV as he ticked off every symptom I had. No doctor could help him apparently until I diagnosed him. So anyway, off he went to a neurologist, and yes, he had it, and then he got some help. So that was wonderful. So I thank you. What's this? Okay. Oh, speed it up? Okay. I just want to thank you very much, everybody, for doing this. This is wonderful. What's that music? They're playing me off already. All right. Well, thank you, NORD. I love you. Continued success. We're with you.
Now to present the last award of the evening, I'd like to welcome back NORD's President and CEO, Peter Saltonstall. Peter?
I'm truly honored to be presenting this Lifetime Achievement Award tonight to Dr. Janet Woodcock. I can't think of anyone else more deserving of this award than Dr. Woodcock. A true friend of the rare disease community, a friend to NORD, an innovative thinker, and also always accessible. No matter what, always accessible. And over the years, Dr. Woodcock has demonstrated a personal commitment to all of those people whose lives have been touched by rare diseases. Dr. Woodcock has helped create an environment conducive for orphan drug development. And for all of us that advocate, we thank her for her leadership and guidance in that area. It's my great pleasure to present this Lifetime Achievement Award to a great friend and a great leader in the rare disease community, Dr. Janet Woodcock.
Hello. I'm very, very sorry that I can't be there with you in person today to accept the Lifetime Achievement Award at the Rare Impact Award ceremony. This really means a lot to me, and I'm very happy and honored to receive the award. We at FDA have worked with NORD very closely over many years to try and advance the health of people with rare diseases. And I'm happy to say over the arc of my career here of 30 years, we've moved from a time when it was almost hopeless that we would see treatments for some of these devastating diseases to a time when last year we approved 41% of our approvals were actually for rare diseases. So this is a tremendous sea change with hope and opportunity for people suffering with these diseases. And NORD has really helped in many ways, and FDA has worked very closely with NORD. A number of years ago, we asked NORD, and they worked with us and set up the I Am Rare registry program that enabled people to put information about their disease course and other information about their rare disease into a repository so that we could learn something more about these rare diseases than we get from one single clinician's or patient's experience, and that's been very important. Now, over my whole career at FDA, I have really tried to be a champion of people with rare diseases. Obviously, these diseases, until very recently, didn't pose the commercial opportunity that would attract investment and a large pharma to go after treatments or cures. But I think we're seeing a lot of change in that space, and that's really good news. And most recently, we're interacting with a number of developers, mostly in the nonprofit sector, who are looking at individualized therapy for people with ultra-rare diseases, with the sincere intent of actually developing a treatment personalized just for that individual. And we have seen a number of cases of this, and we're going to see more. There are many more under development. And this is also good news, that a person with that rare mutation, with that ultra-rare disease, may have hope that a therapy actually can be developed to help them. So the future is bright. We need to keep working together, though, and I'm really delighted to receive this award from NORD. Thank you very much.
Tonight we've celebrated some very special people and organizations who are working tirelessly toward a brighter future for every person living with a rare disease. They've shown us through perseverance, determination, and teamwork, incredible achievements are possible. It's a great reminder in these difficult times that together we can create real change in our world and for the rare disease community, because alone we are rare, together we are strong. We hope you enjoyed the show, and it's been a privilege to share this special evening with you. Just a reminder that if you'd like to support the work NORD does in service of the rare disease community, information on how to make a charitable donation is at the bottom of your screen. On behalf of everyone at NORD and the 2020 Rare Impact honorees, be well and good night.